Babbling Bards podcast.
A podcast made by XENITES.
For XENITES, we're your happy host. That's Liliana.
And this is Trista. Over there. Not me. You.
Me?
Yes.
We hope everybody had an amazing Turkey Day.
Yes.
We stayed home and watched Grey's Anatomy. Because we had no children. But we had cats. And that sums up our holiday, yes?
Yes.
Yes. Whew. I don't even remember what we did for dinner. Do you?
I don't know.
I don't know. Okay, so, speaking of Thanksgiving, are you thankful for Xena?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. Are you?
I'm thankful Xena makes you oh so very happy. Yes, I am thankful for Xena. I am thankful for the fact that there are two awesome and respectable actresses that portray Xena and Gabrielle.
Yes.
Instead of some of the trashy folks that find their way into Hollywood this day and time. So, I'm thankful for that.
Okay.
This episode's technically the first episode of the third season, because the other two episodes
We're supposed to be in season 2?
Yep.
Yeah.
The Furies and been there, done that.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, this is technically the first episode. Season 3. Or is it? Question mark. Exclamation point. New paragraph. Is it?
Is it?
No.
Okay.
It's technically not the first, but we won't get there until later. We won't get to the real first episode of season 3 until later.
They just jumbled them all up, didn't they?
They did. They do that. We see in this episode a new outfit for Gabrielle.
It shrunk again.
They did. Took 2 whole rivets out of it. Isn't that terrible?
Just keeps getting smaller and smaller.
Seriously, the only difference, this outfit is nearly identical to the other one, but instead of having 12 rivets, ribbit is what a frog says. Instead of having 12 rivets for the laces to go through, it only has 10. And this outfit will be retired halfway through season 4. Because then we go into the what do you call those things? The wraps. The season 4 outfit that Gabrielle had.
What do you call them?
Yeah, what do you call them? There's a word for them.
I do not know.
I don't either. Somebody comment and let us know. That'll drive me crazy. Anyway. So, we also have a trick hat actor in this episode. You want to define a trick hat actor for people that may or may not have listened to previous podcasts?
An actor that has played 3 or more different roles in the series. This one, in particular, is Darnell?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember his name.
Who was played by Charles Messer.
Yes, that one. Who he also played the angel guy. Oh my gosh, Michael.
Uh-huh.
And I can't remember his name on the other one.
Mercer.
That one. Yes.
And the episode, The Price.
Yes.
The Horde episode. The first Horde episode.
So, those are his 3 roles.
Mm-hmm.
So, trick hat.
Trick hat actor. Woohoo! Charles Messer actually modeled the character of Darnell after Ares, just in immortal form. Amortal, not immortal. This episode is not one of my, it's not one of my picks. I give it maybe a chakram.
Maybe a chakram.
Maybe a chakram and a half. I mean, it does have Ares in it.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, Xena and Gabrielle are an automatic 1 chakram. You know?
Yeah. I'll probably give it a 2. 2.5.
Yeah?
It was an okay episode, I mean. Yeah.
I think the problem for me is I'm not entirely crazy about Charles Messer's acting.
Uh-huh.
And the chick that played Glafira, I feel by her acting about like I feel about the chick that played Madigan's acting in the episode Succession, neither of which I'm very crazy about. Plus, Galfira sounds like a Lord of the Rings name.
It kind of does.
I could totally see, like, one of the elves being named that.
One of the elves?
I could. Steve Sears wrote this episode, yes?
Yes, he did.
I know on a lot of the boards there was a little bit of, I'm sure he's read some and I don't know. I mean, I've never talked to him about it, but this episode got some hate from the lesbian community.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, quite a bit on the boards. I was noticing on AFN, I noticed, because they felt that they were incorrectly represented, because Glafira was looked at as, oh, she's a lesbian. She hates men. She has to be a lesbian. You know. I don't think that was Steve Sears' intent at all.
No.
With this episode. I mean, you gotta look at it from the flip side, too. There are women that are not lesbians that have had absolutely terrible things that have been done to them or have happened to them that men have done, and vice versa with men. I mean, it's not just women, you know. But, I mean, something may have happened to her back in the day that just made her write men off. You know?
Yeah.
Lesbians don't hate men. I don't think that was the way that her character was meant to be perceived. I find it kind of a shame that it was. But anyway, but yeah, there was a bit of hate because of her character. And a lot of speculation that Glafira and Xena were lovers previously, because Xena sleeps with everybody.
I was just gonna say, it's what everybody thinks about any other character she's had previous interaction with.
Well, I mean, if you look at the series, I mean, legit, if you do, Xena and Gabrielle both exploit their sexuality a lot, as much as you could in the 90s on television. Because, I mean, you can see that in the way that Gabrielle dances on Ulysses' ship, the way Xena dances in Royal Couple of Thieves, the way Gabrielle does in Who's Your Con, the interaction between Xena and Lucifer in Heart of Darkness, and Gabrielle and Virgil in Heart of Darkness, because both were still in control of their faculties, so they would only let it go so far.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they totally used that. You know? And, I mean, yeah, Xena flirted with women. She completely did. To get what she wanted.
Yeah.
Just like she did with men. Gabrielle did the same thing with guys. You know? Not so much the women's side, but maybe there was a little unrequited passion from Glafira's part, because she's got a little bit of bitterness towards Xena.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe she crushed on her. Maybe nothing happened. Maybe something did happen. I don't know. I wasn't there. And that prequel has not been written. So, there's that. I don't know.
Me neither.
Yeah. But there was oh, what did I read? Now I gotta go back through and read in my head. Oh, you want to talk about Darnell and Glafira for a second? About what they were originally manufactured for? That we talked about earlier? About the Xena free episodes? The Xena Light episodes?
They were supposed to come back.
Talk slowly, I'm trying to think.
I'm trying to think, too. Trying to remember what she had said. They were, I guess, originally supposed to come back in the episodes that were Xena Light. Right?
Lucy Free.
Lucy Free? The Lucy Free episodes?
When old Unco had been hurt.
When what?
When old Unco had been hurt. Unco. Lucy.
Oh. Uncoordinated. Okay.
Go with that.
So that's what they used to call Lucy when she was younger, was
in
Unco.
School. She got that name in school.
I guess that was her nickname or something. I don't know, but they used to call her Unco, short for uncoordinated. So,
joke's on them. She made more money.
I know. But yeah, the Darnell and Glafira. Yeah, they were supposed to come back in the Xena Light episodes to join up with Gabrielle on her adventures.
In Centrade?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Oh.
But obviously that never happened, so. Yep.
I can't remember what I read.
Well,
My photographic memory's out of film. You need to switch the SD card.
That's okay.
That's alright.
Alright. What else?
So, there was something I read about this particular episode that I had never really paid attention to before. So, there's a Xena theory. Shocker, there's theories for everything. There's a Xena theory popping around out there that Callisto and Gabrielle are two different sides of Xena's personality. Like, not in the terms of she's crazy, like they're actual people that exist. But Callisto represents completely batshit crazy, maniacal Xena. And Gabrielle is Xena pre-Lycius being killed, before she went off her rocker. Well, in this episode, it talks about the contrast between Glafira and Gabrielle, which is kind of odd because Glafira is thought to be representative of what Gabrielle could have become had she met Xena earlier, because Glafira obviously met her when she was a bad warlord.
Yeah.
And she kind of crafted her, and she took a kid, for lack of a better word, that had already had, like, wrong done to her, and then twisted her into this, man-hating... It's the He-Man Woman Haters Club. Little Rascals, do you remember that movie? Anyway.
Okay.
But turned her into this man-hating, kick-ass warrior. But then we also know that Xena, after she split ways from Glafira, Xena opposed slavery. That was literally what the whole war with Cortez was about. But Glafira became a slaver. And her only talent when Xena introduced her was that she knew Xena. So it's like, that's part of the speculation for, they had a thing. Everybody has a thing.
Everybody's got a thing.
So anyway, our big overview for this episode is essentially, instead of us going scene by scene, we're going to try and get you guys onto a more concise outlook on things. Just hit our key points and go on with life, because we're starting to get into the meaty episodes and we don't want to keep you guys for like 2 hours at a chunk. No, that's a little hardcore.
Yeah.
I mean, it's excellent for video gaming. You just pop the earbuds in and listen while you're playing video games, although you can't hear the bad guys come up behind you sometimes. But anyhow.
Done that before?
Yes. Yes, I have. All of a sudden the screen flashes right, and it's like, the fuck did that come from? Oh, it's coming from behind you. Yeah.
Pay attention.
That was like a long time ago. That was when the very first podcast I listened to was on Napster. That's how long ago. That's how long ago it was. You remember Napster? Back in the day when MySpace was a thing?
Yep.
And your little AOL guy ran across the screen so you could have got to Instant Messenger? Yeah. Back in those days, when iMac had the nifty little see-through computers.
That's right.
Yeah. I had one of those.
Oh, geez.
Anyway, my very first podcast I listened to, I was playing 007 GoldenEye on N64. I got shot from behind. I'm like, what the hell is it? Because I'm like got the gun focused on all these bad guys that I'm supposed to be taking out and killing, and I'm like, why does my screen keep freaking turning red? What is wrong?
You're getting hit.
I had like the big chunky earphones on over my ears. Couldn't hear a damn thing. But I was listening to a podcast for Bionic Woman. Somebody had taken the old 1970s Bionic Woman and did a Bionic Woman in modern day, like 2000s podcast or something. It was nuts. Like late 90s, early 2000s podcast. And I listened religiously. It was on Napster. Napster. So anyhow, but yeah, we don't want to keep you guys reserved for 2 hours on a podcast.
No.
That's a little much, because I could talk like 3-4 hours just about the bittersweet or Liar Liar Hearts on Fire.
Are you gonna?
No, I'm gonna be good. That's why I told you we should do a live rewatch of the bittersweet, because that way it'll keep us more mellow. So, anyhow. Yes. This episode, one of the things that I love about Steven Sears when he writes an episode, he keeps it as close to historical as he can.
Right.
As far as, like, what's going on in that period. And he, like, this episode in particular, he was really particular about the way they spoke. Because when Darnell tells Glaphyra, she says, "You were born of a woman." And he said, "No, I was born of a man. I was delivered by a woman." That is exactly the way that Greek men defined birth in ancient Greece. Because the women have no role, essentially. It kind of sounds like modern day America. Barefoot and pregnant. Stupid. So anyway. Oh, we never did get our overview, did we?
No?
Well, get the overview. Go for it.
Okay. So, what's his name? I can't remember his name.
Agathon?
Agathon. So he gets what do I want to call it? Ares gives him the secret, I guess, to forging the metal of Hephaestus. And so he creates all this armor and weapons for his army. And then Xena rounds up her little gang of convicts, yeah, to stop them, right? It's me.
Yes. The title of the episode is actually a nod to a 1960s film called The Dirty Dozen, in which 12 fellows go out on essentially a suicide mission, which is what this is. Well, let's talk about the Medal of Hephaestus for a second.
Okay.
So, what's so special about it?
It's supposed to be like the strongest metal, and nothing can destroy it. Yeah.
Much different than that armor that Salmonius sold to that guy in.
It rains and poof, it's gone.
So, let's look at what happened in terms of, like, the weapons that were used on this medal, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, Xena's sword.
Broke. But it's back again in the next episode.
Willow Rosenberg brought it back!
Okay. But yeah, so there's like no weapon that I guess can go up against this metal.
Except for two things. In this episode.
The chakra.
Why is that?
Is it forged of the same metal? Maybe, yes.
It possibly could be. We don't know.
Because that's like a theory out there, isn't it? That's Ares gave Xena the chakram.
Ares did give her the chakram.
That was forged from the metal of Hephaestus.
It's actually talked about in the episode Chakram. The chakram she has is the dark chakram.
Yeah.
There's two. There's the dark and the light. Well, Ares gave her the dark one because he was too impure to touch the light one.
Right.
It would have incinerated him. But yeah, supposedly it's forged out of the same metal. That's the theory popping around out there. And then Gabrielle's staff. Gabrielle's staff didn't get broken by the metal.
Okay.
Because remember, she went straight up against the guy with the sword, and her staff stayed intact.
Yeah, that's right.
It barely even dinged it.
So it has no effect on wood?
Well, the thing is, so take a look at Hephaestus, right?
Yes.
He's the god of blacksmithing,
there
pretty
you go.
much.
Yeah.
Blacksmithing crafts, stuff like that. So, since he's the god of blacksmithing, he uses, like, the various metals of the earth, but he doesn't use natural metals like wood. So he would have the power to create something that would react negatively against another forged object, but not a natural element. Because a staff's just carved out of wood. That's one theory as to why that they didn't, that the swords didn't hack through Gabrielle's staff. Did Willow come in? Okay. That's random. I'm sorry. I was just thinking, I saw the bush shaking outside. I was like, did Willow come in?
Yeah.
We put the cat on the leash and the harness in the backyard because she likes it. And let her walk around for a little bit, but she's not used to being out there by herself. I come in yesterday, it was her first day out by herself. I turned my back around, I was in the kitchen making something, turn around to look out the sliding glass door. And she's standing on her back legs with her paws and her nose pressed up against the sliding glass door like, help! Where did everybody go? So I wanted to make sure she was in. Yeah. Otherwise she'll be all panicked. Sorry. That was, sidebar.
Squirrel.
Oh. So anyway, that's what my note was. Makes total sense the weapons of the Medal of Hephaestus don't affect Gabrielle's staff because he is associated with blacksmithing, not so much organic materials. Mm-hmm. Boom. Wood's organic.
So...
Fight with wood.
So anyone, instead of using their weapons, all they gotta go do is break off a tree branch and boom, they can, beat them with it.
Only if they're Buffy.
Well, not stakes.
Yeah, but that would only, hold up for him to fend them off.
Yeah.
Where, if you had Buffy and she carved up some stakes, she whittled some stakes.
There you go.
Out of the tree branches and just make sharp pointy staffs, then you can field them off and you will be a stake in my heart. No?
Yes.
That's a nod to Gemini, who are friends of ours.
Mm-hmm.
Not whoring them out at all.
Nope.
Lisa and Gina Gomez, they have an awesome Buffy-related song called Stake in My Heart. So if you are a Buffy fan and you are listening to the sounds of our voices, check them out. You'll like them, we promise. Okay, my whoring's done. This episode, Liliana.
Yes.
This episode is one of the first ones that Gabrielle starts searching for her true way. She asks Xena a very particular question, semi-early in the episode. You remember what it was?
No, I do not. What was it?
She asks her if she is the way that she is because...
Oh.
That's the way Xena made her.
Am I who I am or who you made me? Mm-hmm. I believe that's what it was.
That's the way she said. Yes, ma'am. Okay. The conversation where she asks Xena that question serves a double purpose in the episode. Hey, it's actually maybe it's a trifold thing. So it shows to us as the viewers Gabrielle's character's changing. Because this is the definitive arc moment for Gabrielle. So when she starts coming into her own, her character started maturing. Somebody's like, oh, Gabrielle's finally 20 now. She's acting like a grown-up. But showing that she's thinking for herself and she's not just taking what Xena says and going with it. Which, she didn't exactly listen to Xena's instructions all the time anyway. But now she's really starting to question who she is and why she is what she is and how she became that way. So she's becoming, right before our very eyes, little Gabby's all grown up. She's becoming this layered individual. She's like an onion, like an ogre.
Onions have layers.
Yes.
Gabby's got layers.
Gabby's got layers.
She's peeling them off every season.
Right? Sheesh. Strumpet. But yeah, she's... After this episode, her character gets a lot more rich. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? There's like where you just saw the surfacey stuff beforehand. Now all of a sudden you're seeing hey, there is backstory to her. Hey, she is accepting that this stuff's happened. Hey, why did she do this? Why did she do that? Well, now you're starting to see kind of the way her mind ticks. And that she's not just along for the ride anymore. She's not just an overachieving sidekick as she defined herself in For Him the Bell Tolls. And two, it serves as a way of Xena having to look at her. Because Xena, all this time, has wanted to think of Gabrielle as, sweet and innocent and, unsullied by life.
Yeah.
And she won't be able to say that in the next episode, but that conversation's having to make Xena think in terms of, hey, she is growing up. she's not the same innocent kid she was when she started traveling with me. And it also serves as foreshadowing for the rift.
Dun, dun, dun.
The rift. The time in our lives between the Deliverer and the Bittersweet, when no Xenite could sleep until they knew Xena and Gabrielle would be okay. Right?
Right.
I'm snotty. I'm sorry.
Everybody just hear that.
They did.
Okay.
I know they did. Dude, the wildfires out here have affected the air quality so bad. It is not good for us people with allergies and or asthma. And I have both. So yeah. Like, I already feel like I'm getting ready to lose my voice. Again.
Uh-huh. Like the 30th time this year.
Right? Oh my god!
What?
That's like every day out of the month, because most months are 30 days. Or 31. That's literally every day out of the month.
Uh-huh.
That's ridiculous. So if you guys have radio silence from the Babbling Bards for a while, you have a heads up. You'll know why. Subtext! Take it away, Lily.
No, that's your area.
No. Take the subtext.
I have no idea.
Do it.
That's all you.
We have 3 evidences of subtext.
What are they?
4.
4?
4.
Okay, what are they?
Xena cupping Gabrielle's cheek
Uh-huh.
and saying, I could never see you as evil. Because Xena views Gabrielle as the ultimate good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this thing foreshadows as well. There's a lot of foreshadowing in this episode. Because when she says, I can never see you as evil, foreshadows 2 things. A, more recent than that. Oh, no, not so much. A would be Tadika,
Okay.
the demon in the Devi.
The Divi.
Yeah, the Devi. That takes over Gabrielle's body.
Uh-huh.
It's technically not Gabrielle, but it gives Xena no choice but to see Gabrielle as evil. Right? Xena be all, come out, demon! And then, of course,
The demon child.
the demon child.
Hope.
She was just delivered by Gabrielle. She was born of a Dayhawk. She was delivered by Gabrielle. So it's really not Gabrielle's fault. But it foreshadows hope as well. Because Xena's obvious. She even makes the comment, in Sacrifice 1, when she cups Gabrielle's cheek, the person that I hate the most, sharing the face of the person I love the most, hits you right in the feels. And then, so yeah. Poor Xena. She opened a can of worms when she said that. Mm-hmm. She just did. And then the writer screwed with us. Thank you, Steve.
It's probably saying you're welcome.
Probably. That's okay. We'll talk about it at retreat. Okay. And then we have subtext in the terms of Glafira, who's, we've already talked about, obviously not a fan of the gentleman. She's comes off as jealous of the relationship between Xena and Gabrielle, which could be, like we talked about earlier, maybe she crushed on Xena and nothing happened, or something did happen and then it fizzled out, and lo and behold, no.
Who knows?
Now your ex-dream or your ex-honey is with another blonde, and you just don't know what to do with life. But she antagonizes Gabrielle for a while.
Yeah.
Like, she's downright brutal to her at some points, And then when she and Xena and Gabrielle are all in the prison cell together, Xena confronts her as a way of defending Gabrielle's honor, and she eases up. Somebody on one of the forums was like, well, there's a hint of subtext there because of the way that Xena pops up and she tells Glafira, yeah, she's been through more than you have. Mm-hmm. Because she tells her she's been through a lot, yes, even more than you. Mm-hmm. And then when she's, attacking Gabrielle, when Gabrielle says, I've known some good men. I was married to one.
Yeah.
And Glafira says, well, how long was he good? I notice he's not with you now. Maybe he's moved on to another conquest, and Gabrielle says, well, maybe he was murdered. And Xena says, by Callisto, a woman. And that had been kind of pointed out of, well, did you see the way that Xena popped to her defense? I wouldn't necessarily perceive that as subtext.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I had a friend that's husband had been murdered, and they were getting attacked about their husband,
yeah.
I mean, I'd jump like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then Darnell makes a comment. That's another half bit of subtext that suggests maybe he's seen something off screen that the viewers don't see on screen.
Uh-huh.
Says, oh yeah, you're dragging around a half-starved kid pretending she's a friend. And he emphasizes pretending she's a friend. And he's like, well, if she's not just a friend, then whoop, there it is.
Yeah.
But what do you think they did well in this episode? You don't know? I don't like the lighting in the first scene. The red hurts my eyes. All the red when they're down and the metal's being forged.
Uh-huh.
The red hurts my eyeballs.
I'm sorry?
It's ridiculous.
Don't look at it.
Shut up. Wear sunglasses when it comes on.
There you go.
And then Ares' sideburns. I cannot get down with that. Like, I don't understand those weird half thingies. I don't get it.
Come down and across his cheek.
Uh-huh. I do think the episode was well written.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't as enthralled with the supporting cast, but Agathon called Xena Zener.
Not the first time.
Yeah. I didn't find that many oopsies, though. I mean, inside you can see a couple of the walls move as they're stepping by them. But other than that, there weren't that many oopsies in this episode. They're getting better. But there's some coming.
Oh,
Don't worry about it. There's still more. But that's all I got. Do you have anything else?
No.
I mean, it's not a piss poor episode. It's completely a filler episode, and it feels that way. But I half wonder if it feels that way because of the Sumerian treasure episode. What's it called? Do you remember? Because this episode's literally nearly a carbon copy of that episode. There's just more people. Fistful of Dinars.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
It's like nearly a carbon copy, except there's, 4 less people in a fistful of dinars than there are in this episode. And I think that's part of my problem, is I tend to compare the two, because they are so similar. Which one's a treasure hunt, one's looking for, one's trying to stop a big warlord, but it's almost the same basis plot line, as far as Xena's band of merry men.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that's why, because I like Fistful of Dinars. Mm-hmm. It's one of my favorite episodes from season 1, but maybe that's why this one doesn't resonate that strongly within my being, Uh-huh. Okay. So anyway, does it for me. We're keeping our eyes peeled because there's supposed to be a XenaCon next year.
2020.
2020, not 2019.
25th anniversary, 2020.
You so excited?
Yes.
Yes? We're going to be first in line for our tickets, honey?
Probably. We're going to go to the 2020 25th anniversary, yes?
Yes.
Who else is going? Everybody? Okay, cool.
We'll be there. Look for us. We should hopefully have Babbling Bards shirts at the time.
Yes.
Maybe? You think? Okay. But anyhow. I can't think of anything else coming up. I don't know of anything new coming up for Lucy or Renee, either one.
Yeah, Lucy's got that new, what is it, My Life is Murder?
Yeah.
Show that she's
That's
doing.
sadly not airing in the United States.
I don't remember where I saw it or where, but I saw something about how it will be aired in the U.S.
It will, but I think we're going to get it like 18 months after the first season's over.
Probably.
So it'll be halfway through the second. Like we got Wentworth.
Yeah.
Wentworth, they had 4 or 5 seasons out before.
I'll have to see if I could find that. I don't remember where I saw it, but
Wentworth, they had like 4 or 5 seasons out before we got it.
Yeah.
I mean, I can always I'm sure I can get it.
Uh-huh.
It comes from being a tech geek and a former cop. I'm sure I can get it.
Mm-hmm.
Do a little bit of rewiring on the Wii U and see what I can drag out.
You heard nothing.
You didn't hear anything.
But no, I can't think of anything else.
Slow season for them. I'm going to do a shameless plug right now. So, last holiday season, there was a film that Renee O'Connor did back in 2015 that was released on DVD called Beyond the Farthest Star.
Mm-hmm.
It is a faith-based film, heads up. However, it does not cram Jesus down your throat. I thought it was actually pretty well put together.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was fantastically written. The writing in it was spot on, especially for a faith-based film. So, should you guys have a chance to watch it and you haven't, just watch it. There's a nativity involved. It makes it Christmas themed. I mean, we don't celebrate Christmas personally, but Liliana kind of does. But I do Saturnalia. Mm-hmm. Liliana and the kiddos do Saturnalia. They chose to do Saturnalia because they get more presents. But but anyway, so if you guys have a chance, Beyond the Farthest Star, watch it. It's 10,000 times better than Question of Faith ever thought about being.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Do it.
Do it. Watch it. Do it. I can't think of anything else. You?
No.
Anything?
No.
Nothing?
No.
Not a thing?
No.
Ain't nothing but a chicken wing?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, got nothing.
Next episode we'll have coming up for you guys is going to be The Deliverer. We'll have another trick head actor. One that's almost a trick head actor. And lots more foreshadowing and some oopsies and some subtexts and
a little bit of everything.
a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Gabrielle loses her V card on blood shedding in that episode. So yeah.
Yep.
It's a heavy episode. The rift is starting.
Dun dun dun.
I don't know. Oh! I know what else we're missing.
What?
Oh, what?
I don't know what.
Or did you want to save it for the next? No, we should do it on this one because this is going to be a little bit shorter.
I don't know what it is.
Okay. So we had a gentleman comment on one of our videos.
Oh!
One of our podcast videos.
Yes.
Take it away, honey.
Commented on, is there a doctor in a house? Go ahead.
Uh-huh.
Do it. Apparently he was one of the actors on the show. He played the younger
priest.
I was I've been watching too much Grey's. I was going to say intern.
The younger priest.
Yeah.
Democritus.
So that was kind of cool. I mean, he was just... I guess him and his girlfriend were talking about it the other day, and they decided to pull it up on YouTube, and boom, there we are. And he commented on it.
Wrote a nice long comment, was telling a little bit of background details from what was
talked about Lucy and Renee.
Yeah, he talked about them because he was supposed to have a crush on Renee's character, and he's like, and so, I was an unknown actor, and I'd been on previous Xena episodes as an extra in the background.
This was the first one he had a speaking line in.
And he was supposed to have a crush on Renee, and he's like, I was so nervous, but she was so nice and so kind.
Yeah.
And I guess at the table read, when they were going through it, a lot of the medical practices that Xena came up with, Lucy suggested at the table read that she come up with them on the fly.
Yeah.
None of those were scripted. the CPR, all of that, none of it was scripted. She just like, well, wouldn't it be more believable and better if I just ran with it, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's what they did.
Yeah. So, that was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, if you guys want to read his comment, it's on our Is There a Doctor in a House podcast. So just pull that one up and check out his comments. I mean, he wrote a pretty lengthy
lengthy one,
comment.
yeah.
So, I mean, thank you for that. That
right?
was pretty cool. What was his?
His name is Simon. Hang on, I'll have to find that. I have to find his last name. I had it filed in the memory banks, but
but yeah, that was pretty cool.
Hang on, I'll find it. Don't panic. Don't panic, Liliana. Calm down.
What was that from season?
That's season 1. I got it. Don't panic. I got it. His name is Simon Farthing. So, yeah, he gave us quite a few. He talked about the blood that he spat out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a nice little personal experience that he had with his forgetting to tell his sister to let his nieces know that that he wasn't doing real good, so he got an angry phone call.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that's it. So we thought that was pretty cool and wanted to share it with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, now, truly, I have nothing else. You have anything else?
No.
No?
I got nothing. No.
So I guess it's sign-off time?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Till next time, when you're blue and don't know what to do, pop on over to the Tube of You and check out the Babbling Bards podcast. That didn't rhyme.
That didn't rhyme.
That's okay. What rhymes with podcast? Time's up. Outlast?
Outlast? Yeah. Okay. Anyways.
Anyway. You guys get bored and, we're on Facebook, Tumblr, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram.
Instagram, there you go. That's what I was trying
Do
to
we
think
ever
of.
put anything on Instagram?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
You do? Liliana is our social media guru.
Nah.
Yeah, she is. I just do the talking.
You do the talking, I do the posting.
It is a 50-50 effort. She does the posting. She's not much for talking, but her knowledge of Xena is a little more in-depth than mine is. She's one of the real McCoys. She's been watching Xena a lot longer.
A little bit.
I turned 4 this year. In April.
You turned 4?
I turned 4. First season, I'll be 4 for first season this coming year. In April.
Uh-huh.
I will have been watching for 4 years.
There you go. It's never too late to start.
It's never too late for Xena.
No. It keeps growing.
It does.
I mean, yeah.
There's new Xena fans every day.
There is.
Every day. Okay, now we're done.
Okay.
Alright. Till next time, you guys. Be a force for good.
Yes.
There is so much hate out there, starting from our White House down. Yeah. Just be freaking nice to somebody.
Just be good. Yeah. I don't understand the hate. It's ridiculous.
Be a force for good. We're all working towards the same goal. And then, at the end of the day, half of it's not going to matter because we're going to be dead one day. I mean, what we do matters. That's not what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Anyway, bottom line, be a force for good.
Yes.
Go out and do something nice for somebody. Pay it forward at a drive-thru or help a little old lady into her car with her groceries. Take your neighbor some cookies. It's a really nice gesture. And it surprises people.
Yes.
Like Liliana. And until next time, happy chakrams and battle on XENITES. Till then, Babbling Bards,
Goodbye.
out.
Out. Goodbye.
Goodbye.